Hello, I'm Krista Cupp, and this is the NRA-ILA Grassroots News Minute for Friday, February 17th. It is certainly no surprise for gun owners to see the New York Times run a story belittling the United States Constitution. After all, the Times has worked for decades to devalue our founding document. Quote, "Its influence is waning," opines the Times. "It is terse and old, and it guarantees relatively few rights." The paper faults the Constitution for being difficult to amend and reflective of the times in which it was written. While the Times does not go as far to say that the U.S. Constitution has been bad for America, it does lament that it is of little current use to say a new African nation. But it was a much bigger shock when the Times reported in the same story that Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a sitting Associate Justice of the U.S. Supreme Court, shares the Times' dim view of the Constitution. Ginsburg said, quote, "I would not look to the United States Constitution if I were drafting a constitution in the year 2012. Her personal recommendations would instead include the South African Constitution, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and the European Convention on Human Rights." Now, none of this should come as a surprise, but one wonders, for example, if Justice Ginsburg even looks to the United States Constitution when interpreting it in 2012. Having had only limited success in getting the courts to creatively reimagine the Constitution to suit their individual tastes, America's legal, academic, and media elites are now determined to minimize what is left of the Founding Charter's original meaning and intent by making unflattering comparisons to sexier, more expansive documents that empower state bureaucracies, undermine individual rights, and micromanage citizens' day-to-day lives. Those who hold this view would be happy to see our Constitution abandoned in a favor of a more modern document that grants rights such as health care, housing, and employment, while eliminating protections for the right to keep and bear arms and restrictions on the powers of the central government. What these visionaries see as deficiencies in our Constitution are exactly the things that make it work so well. Its purpose is to guarantee fundamental rights and to protect liberty by restricting government power. While it is lamentable that the Times cannot see the greatness of our Constitution, it is far more troubling that Justice Ginsburg cannot. And most troubling of all is the possibility that if elected a second term, President Barack Obama could appoint even more justices who share Justice Ginsburg's views. For more stories like this and for up-to-date legislative alerts, please be sure to visit our website at www.nraila.org. And also be sure to check out www.nraam.org for more information on the 2012 NRA Annual Meeting and Exhibits in St. Louis, April 13th, 14th, and 15th.